welcome to Gotham Night Radio. Once again, here we have another episode, and we're going to be starting our comic book portion of the channel, our YouTube channel. And today we're going to be going over the DC Rebirth issue, the first one-shot that kind of explains what Rebirth is. And we're also going to be covering the Batman Rebirth issues 1 through 4 at the moment.
Yep.
And we'd like to just start off by kind of explaining, I'd like Brady to kind of explain to the folks at home what Rebirth is. Like, what does it all mean?
So with DC's Rebirth that they do, it was their reboot that's not a reboot. It was just a means to kind of end the New 52 universe that they brought about in 2011, and then they're going to bring back like new characters that were lost, new price tag for $2.99 instead of like the regular $3.99, and then they were also bringing back some old continuity things that got lost during New 52. They decided to bring that back so that they could have the nostalgia from the fans. So it was just a way just to, instead of rebooting everything back to issue 1 and starting over, they're keeping with New 52. They're just making it a lot more fan-friendly.
All right. So the one shot, I'd like to go over that, kind of give a brief review of what we thought. And personally, I liked it. I like where they're going. It's definitely a continuation of like almost every storyline in DC. So it's something that you never really think of, that this is all canon, everything.
Yeah.
But they're taking and running with it. And using the New 52 that's still there. And even in the Infinite Crisis storyline is there somewhat, with Wally West returning.
Yep.
And as the Flash.
It's been gone a long time.
And so something happened in this where left me puzzled, where we have Joker's identity being revealed, that there's several Jokers.
Yeah, 3 of them, which it's kind of hard to take, I think.
Maybe they'll go into more detail later on.
They should. I know Jeff Johns was wanting to go into more detail, and I'm sure like in the Batman books or even like Detective Comics, they'll start going into it a little more.
Yeah, and then Wally West returning through the Speed Force, but something happened during Flashpoint Paradox where Barry went back in time and fixed the timeline, but someone who we find out later on in the end of the comic, who is Dr. Manhattan, who interfered with the timeline, took 10 years.
10 years, love, relationships, and just hope from the New 52 universe.
Yeah. So that was definitely strange. I haven't read the Watchmen comic, but I've seen the movie several times. I'm a big fan of the movie. I've heard the comic is better than the movie, but I thought it was interesting and kind of a pretty radical, just creative decision to include the Watchmen into this universe. I never thought they would meet at all.
Yeah, I never thought so too.
Always be separate.
Yeah, especially now if you think about bringing Watchmen in, it's like we already had the introduction of New 52's Owlman from Earth 3 during the Forever Evil storyline, and so now if Watchmen comes in, are they going to have another Owlman that's going to be coming in? So I think that was a really interesting choice to have Watchmen be the main catalyst of the New 52 universe.
Yeah, and I do love Owlman. He's just a great villain, kind of counterpoint to Batman. If kind of like seeing that, what if Batman became a villain?
Right.
It's definitely Owlman there. But I like where it's going. I'm interested to see where it goes next with all these different Rebirth storylines. They're doing everyone's getting a rebirth.
Yeah.
In the DC universe,
except Harley. She didn't have a rebirth yet.
Okay, I kind of just
like to say
everybody. Things. But now Batman issues 1 through 4. Would like to go over the Rebirth storyline now. What'd you think of the the first 4 issues, Brady?
I've been really, really digging the first 4 issues. I think that Tom King, the writer, is doing a fantastic job with how he's portraying Batman. He's making it seem like this is the Batman that we were missing in New 52. I know Scott Snyder, he had some good Batman moments, but I think that Tom King just knows the character better. And so I've really just enjoyed just like the little interactions with like Batman and Gordon or Batman and Amanda Waller. Like everything that he does, how he's writing Batman has just been just top notch, I think.
I really like the aesthetic of, Batman. I like this costume. I like the new Batmobile. Looked really cool.
Yeah, reminiscent of the Batman animated series. I thought that was awesome.
They even combined like the front with the Killing Joke kind of front grill, which is really cool. And but I do like the story. Even though Gotham and Gotham Girl seems kind of strange to be in place in the Gotham in the Gotham world, I guess, because mostly people aren't super powered in Gotham at all. So even though I think it's kind of peculiar, I like the direction it's going in. I love the writing, like you said. Tom King is doing a pretty good job kind of making Batman and detective.
Yeah, it's nice to see detective work back in the Batman comics.
Yeah, when he comes in as Matches Malone, they brought Matches Malone back, him being kind of like an FBI guy.
Yeah.
But
although I do have a complaint because Matches Malone isn't an FBI agent. He's Batman's underground criminal gangster alias. So having him be an FBI agent, I thought Tom King was more like, oh, we'll just throw this out there for fans. But really it took me out of the story like, well, that's not who Matches Malone is. So I did have a problem with that. But it was nice that they were bringing back like nostalgia stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like the part where he gets back in the car and it kind of splits open, kind of like The Dark Knight, how the Batmobile explodes and then the Bat Pod explodes out of it. So that was cool. There's a lot of cool gadgetry going on. But everything's really more of continuation. We're continuing the Batman mythos here, still acknowledging the New 52 and all the other stories, but mostly so far in the last issue, we kind of find out who the villains are. Hugo Strange.
Yeah, and, it's cool to see him back in comics.
Psycho Pirate. So, yeah.
Old Psycho Pirate.
And he's manipulating the minds of these superpowered beings, Gotham and Gotham Girl, being kind of mysterious with their whole origin story.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking the direction it's going. I can't wait to read more.
Yeah. I like that they brought Hugo back because like this comic's really reminiscent of like the very first Batman issue in Batman #1 because there was Hugo Strange and the Monster Men back there. So it's really nice to like see Tom King's bringing in like, okay, we're going to talk about a little bit like older stories, but we're just going to do our own take on them. So it's cool to see that kind of stuff working in comics now.
Yeah, and we'll be continuing to read the stories. Pretty much, there is a lot of different comics with the Rebirth stories. We want to continue reading Batman and reviewing that. Also, All-Star Batman.
Yeah.
And
Detective Comics, that one's a great one.
Yeah.
I think that one's the #1 Batman-related comic out right now is Detective Comics. It's killer.
Yeah, and so we want to keep trying to review most of them.
Yep.
But next week we'll be kind of starting another portion of the comic section, just with kind of the great stories of the DC Universe, classics, with Alex Ross and his great artwork with Kingdom Come.
Yep, Kingdom Come.
Which is a story I've never read, so
it's my favorite one.
We're gonna be reviewing that next episode.
Yep.
So, although we'll keep reviewing a lot of other stuff because there's so much to cover here. We're nothing against Marvel, even though I don't read their comics. I like their characters. I haven't really invested in their comics wise, but this channel's mainly just DC related, but we'll still include other comics, not even just Marvel, but Image,
yeah.
IDW. So we'll cover a lot.
Yeah.
So
Well, stay tuned for Wednesday's episode of Comic Book Wednesdays, where I'll be talking about which comics are coming out, what you should be reading, what I'm reading. Batman issue number 5 is coming out on Wednesday, so that's a good time to be catching up, since we're reviewing 1 through 4 today. So,
all right, but that's it. That's our episode for today. Thanks for tuning in, and see you next time.
see ya.
Okay.